Hi, I am Jacki Moon, co-producer of House of Deviance. I have been performing for the past 5 or 6 years. I've been teaching pole for about 7, and I think I've been doing pole for almost a decade.
Hi, I'm Bex. I perform under the First Theydy, and I've been doing pole and burlesque and aerials for over 9 years, and teaching for about 4.5. And yeah, I started performing pretty much right when I started doing this stuff, and yeah. Jacki and I met doing a boudoir shoot. We didn't know each other, and we took these like really funny BDSM pictures.
Yeah,
that's a fun thing about
Before
our
I
origin.
even knew their name, I was whipping them on a bed for a photographer that I never talked to again. It's great.
Actually, I don't even think that was for the photographer. I think we just did that for funsies. Those are just unprofessional pictures we took in a room by ourselves.
That's how we met. A decade ago.
What inspired this year's theme?
Ooh, okay, the marriage of church and money feels really relevant. I'm gonna give a little personal anecdote. I always call it anyway, words, dyslexia. So I'm gonna give a little personal story. My mom has always been like a really big Republican, et cetera, and recently was like, yeah, I think I'm a leftist. And I told her the theme of the show. She's like, that's so relevant. The church is so money hungry. And I was like, what is happening?
Don't forget the rules. What does God love most? Money! So make it rain on all of these performers that we have for our second sermons of the night.
And I think the goal for this one was to be a little campy and a little over the top and flamboyant. Yeah. Kind of on the note of what we were talking about earlier of like taking an absurd lens to what's going on in the world. Feels really cathartic. Bex came to me and was like, my dream has always been to throw a show in a church. And I was like, are you serious?
What can an audience member expect to see at House of Deviance?
Ooh.
Titties. Sorry.
Ass.
Ass and titties.
Ass and titties. Lots of ass and titties.
Lots of ass and titties.
No, I think that they can see really well curated acts that each tell a story in of itself. That's something Bex and I really looked for when we do casting is the vision for props, the vision for costuming, the story that they're trying to tell, how well does it fit in with the theme? And then building a layer on top of that, we put the acts in such a way that it tells its own story, and we're kind of weaving in our own narrative within that, so they can expect a lot of that.
Since things came back after the pandemic, especially the last couple of years, there's a whole lot of shows in town. More burlesque shows, more pole shows, more aerial shows. There's a lot bigger community, a lot of younger folks getting into it. So yeah, the other thing I can tell you about Austin in particular, the burlesque scene here, Develope is a really well-known performer in the community. I heard her say this, and it's the perfect way to describe the Austin scene. She says when she goes, because she travels to perform, when she goes anywhere else, she is watching the act and she's like waiting for the weird thing to happen. And everywhere else, the weird thing never happens. It's just a normal act. And in Austin, the weird thing always happens. So something Jacki and I are trying to do with our marketing and everything is expand who comes to these shows broadly, not just to our show, but to who comes to all of this, because all of the artists will do better if more people are invested in it.
What brings you here tonight?
So one of my close friends, Automobiles, is performing, and I lost my mind screaming for her today. Yeah. Yep.
What brought you to the show tonight?
My friend Val.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you
And Jesus as well.
Jesus brought you here?
Yeah.
I really like pushing my body to the limit, and pole feels like a healthier way to do that than with other ways.
I would actually say too, I think that we were both drawn to pole for that reason, because of the physicality of it and because of I think we had this conversation like a couple of years ago, I don't know if you remember it, about almost everyone I know who started pole and got addicted to it ended up going to therapy.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
pole is an acceptable way to self-harm, but there's no way to progress in pole past a certain point if you don't learn to be connected to your body in the same way that you have to be connected to your body to be emotionally healthy.
What does the future hold for House of Deviance?
Ooh, this is such an exciting question. Do you want to take it?
No, you go. You came up with this.
Okay, so
I'm just very excited.
we're gonna do a show in the summer. We're planning on during Pride Month, so the beginning of August.
During Austin Pride.
Austin Pride, because Austin does things differently,
Yeah.
including Pride.
August in Austin.
We're called House of Deviance, and I recently learned about the House of D. Has anybody in the room? I know you have, because I won't shut up about it.
Yeah.
I found out about this actually after we picked the name for our baby, because House of Deviance is our baby. So I was listening to a queer podcast, and they were talking about House of D, and it's a forgotten women's detention center that was across the street from the Stonewall Inn. So this was kind of a rite of passage back in the day. Like if you got thrown in House of D, it was probably because you were doing gay shit at the Stonewall, or you were dressed to trans mask, and that was against the law back then too. So they would get thrown into this women's holding center, and they would mark them with a D because they were deviant. So it was called House of D for the Deviants. And when Stonewall had their uprising, the women and trans mask people inside of the House of D started rioting out of solidarity and burning their clothes, breaking shit inside the prison. So I thought that was just really fun and really punk rock, and I had never heard of that. So I really want to do a show that's like prison core, think like Orange is the New Black, but also really like, you know, the paying respect to our queer elders is really exciting.
Particularly lesbians and trans mask people.
Yes.
Like House of Deviance, yes, is the Easter Sunday show, but mostly we just want to make really queer, really radical art that isn't just in churches.
Yeah.
And so this feels like something that's very aligned with what we want to do that is different than the blasphemous stuff.
Yes.
Pole is life-changing for people. I used to be embarrassed to say that because it sounds so cheesy and stupid, but genuinely I have seen it change so many people's lives, both in confidence and getting them to be connected to their body in a different way, which is why I teach. I want people to have that experience.